guys psyched, nervous?
Talking in it.
Very interesting thoughts.
We're live. Baby's screaming. Wait. I'm going to give it like 5 minutes or so before we get started. But yeah, chat amongst yourselves in the meantime.
You know,
I'd like
Uber Eats today, and I held myself back.
I got
what would have been the food of choice?
Probably something from BP, because we have within BPs across New Zealand, there's Wild Bean Cafe. I don't know if it's a thing across the world, but a cafe that's within BP, and they've got some nice choices there. I've probably gone with like a mix of sweet and savory.
I got DoorDash for the first time in a very, very long time
hey.
yesterday.
We're audible on the starting Zoom screen, just so we're all aware.
Oh.
Just so we know. I don't think we're supposed to be, but we are.
No, she told us to talk amongst ourselves
Oh,
because
okay.
she didn't have background music.
Is this the part where we're not meant to say fuck or bugger because we're on TV?
Yeah. No swearing, you twat.
Just fucked it
Damn
up.
it.
God damn it.
Sorry, I'll see you next week.
Hey,
It's the exact
she's
same
got
thing
her
we
baby,
do.
guys. Like, her baby could be hearing this.
Oh, hello, Bubba.
Speaking of babies, my niece, who is not a baby anymore, but I'm going to segue into it, apparently has started dropping the S word because that is my younger brother's favorite word to say. And I just keep laughing because it's his own damn fault.
Oh. Shout out to all my fellow Uber Eats order people out there who might be listening/watching.
We're really lucky. 2, 3, if you count the fish and chips, really good takeaways are within like sight distance from our windows.
You get the smell where you just smell it from
Yeah.
Oh.
It's curry 7 times a week and it's glorious. Maybe if it's coming from the other direction, it's fish and chips.
I've been watching things on TikTok. Is mushy peas like a very big thing over there?
If you have a good palate, yes.
If you're saying, oh.
No, I see. I got it in
Right.
first, which means it's good.
Mm,
Mushy, but yeah, you can eat mushy peas with pie, or like a steak pie or something, or fish and chips. Yeah, nice little steak pie, bit of mushy peas, bit of extra gravy.
These words mean
Why'd
nothing
you have
to
to
me.
ruin it with the mushy peas?
Because mushy peas are good. Miles better than normal peas for most
texture.
things.
Well, yeah, because peas are awful. We just don't have peas.
Bacon and cheese is so good for a pie.
We need to educate people about Greg's. Let's go.
I introduced my resident American to a savory pie I made some while I was there, and they loved it. So I'm converting them slowly.
Have you ever heard of a Wigan kebab?
No.
Essentially, you get the pie, and then you put it in a roll.
In like a sausage roll? What do you mean?
No, like a bread roll. A bun,
Oh, like
a
a
tea
bread
cake,
roll.
a cob, a balm.
Yeah. Bap.
Yeah, good one.
Okay. Listen, I'm just using
Wigan
my
kebab.
regional slang. Bap.
Okay,
Rachel,
Rach.
you're my
let's
resident American
keep that in.
heart.
Let's keep that in character, okay?
Me and Rachel are gonna run off together, just like Juno and Posey. We're our people eating.
Well, at least we know now.
Damn it.
Yeah, at least we know now. You are rule 1. You are not your character. Does that make it real?
Banned.
It doesn't.
Okay.
I hope I just crushed your dreams.
If you want, we can swap to some elevator music, and I'll just pitch in every 30 seconds with, your call is important to us.
Make sure you say it in like the most absolutely ruined
240p voice possible.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Your call is important to us. Please stand by for the next available representative.
All our agents are busy right now.
The expected call time is 2 hours and 35 minutes.
You guys are probably going to hear me
later.
double. It's probably going to be annoying to you. I'm letting you know that now.
We're going to hear what?
You're going to hear me double maybe if you're listening to the stream and to this conversation.
I muted it when we started talking.
Yeah, I muted it too. I don't want to hear myself talk.
That's so valid. We should probably get going. Thanks for holding down the fort and chattering. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Wow, I wish we had some background music. I feel so awkward. Just wait, you guys can't hear me if I'm not pushing. I'm gonna have to turn push to talk off.
That's okay.
Hold on. Use the settings.
Live.
Let's see.
Professional stream.
Voice activity. Listen,
But this isn't a stream, this is a podcast.
I have the stream deck set up for this stream, so I'm feeling very professional, and I don't want to hear about it. Oh, and I made this starting soon screen, so I don't know. Pretty professional.
That's really cute.
Thank you so much.
It is a very nice starting screen.
In my dream and vision, it was animated, but I had about 5 minutes, so we didn't get animation. Okay, so hello and welcome to our first campfire session. Woo, snaps. I had a lot I wanted to prepare. Oh, thank you. That's
Perfect.
wonderful. I had a lot I wanted to prepare personally that I didn't get to do, which hopefully is actually a good thing. One of our goals with the campfires is to lower the overhead on compared to our community meetings that we've done in the past, which, you know, took, I don't know, days, months, years to prepare. So hopefully this isn't too chaotic. I'm trying to pull up our agenda here so that I can stay on track. We're looking at hopefully 1 hour. There are some who believe we don't have enough content for 1 hour. There are others who believe we have too much, so we'll see. I'm of the we have
Probably
too
means
much.
we're about right.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, okay, so basically I'm right on track because first on the agenda is introducing the campfire session, our dream and vision. So basically, as mentioned in the announcement and blog posts on the website, our goal with these is kind of an alternative to a community meeting, more hopefully a little, I don't know, a little more digestible. Our community meetings in the past have been really long, and I think it's been maybe too much information to communicate and probably too much for everyone to digest. So hopefully this is a little bit better and a little more entertaining. I'm hoping for something that's a little more conversational and a little less like we're reading announcements off, you know, a script where we're just kind of talking at you. I'm hoping that, yeah, basically most of our content is kind of casual and relatively, I would say, unscripted. I don't think we've really done, we've prepared a little bit. We certainly know kind of what we're going to talk about, but another goal for me is, and I should say, since no one's done a campfire before, everyone in the chat, you're welcome to chime in whenever. If we start talking over each other, maybe we'll, I don't know, think of some kind of hand raising thing, but I feel like that's probably not going to be a problem. So feel free to just chime in whenever you want, whether you're listed on the agenda or not. If you're in our Discord and you see the campfire channel, I don't know if it's visible to everyone. And you can't join it. Just know we're not trying to exclude you, but we do want to kind of limit the chaos a little bit. We set it up in the main Discord specifically so that we could bring people on that aren't staff to talk. We have one person today with us who is not staff, Cassie, not to call you out, but to call you out. And hopefully in the future we'll have more of you, maybe more than one at a time. That'd be fun in my dream. I don't know, anything else?
Which is to say that we have future ones of these planned.
Yeah, right. Go ahead,
I
Molly.
think, like, kind of to that point, we want, like, the phrase digestible also means that we can be more frequent with them. Like, you know, because when we're planning all these huge, you know, not to bury the lead, but like something that we'll kind of be talking about in terms of like dev updates and everything, when you have one giant update, it takes a lot of work, right? So one of the key things that like in the feedback was that there's, you know, radio silence and then we're hit with everything. So that's kind of this will be our effort to have something that's low effort for us, but allows us to give you all kind of like a podcast newsletter, more or less, about like what's going on, things that we think are interesting, little updates here and there. But yeah.
Yes, as much anxiety as it gives me today to not be as prepared as I wanted, I think it's good in a way, because it will set us up in the future to not necessarily need to do so much work to get these out. Cadence-wise, we're kind of already working on the next Campfire. We have some of the content ready to go. I would say probably Molly and I were talking about this earlier. I think bi-monthly is our goal, and if we get stuff ready to go sooner than that, fantastic. You know, if I was working on this full time and it was my job, I'd love to do it monthly.
Yeah, because I mean, we're looking at about a week of like mild planning, and so it also gives us a month to have news. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Plus, if we're always one step ahead of it in terms of planning for them, it's a nice little yardstick for us to keep that going so that we can keep ourselves accountable for that communication.
Yes, definitely. Props to whoever posted the agenda in the chat. That's really helpful to me. Thank you.
You're welcome. You got it, babe.
I was going to use my phone, but it's really a hassle. So hopefully it's not creating feedback for anyone on my mic. Okay, I think... Also, if I could maybe have a couple people who are in chat keeping an eye out for questions. If you think they're relevant, you could read them out, and we can answer them here. I have chat up, but, you know. Okay, I think let's get...
Right on 5 minutes.
You know what? Let me just run down. We crushed it. Let me just kind of lay out the plan for you guys. So we have several segments today. We've introduced the Campfire session. I'm going to be introducing a new curator. We have someone new joining the curator team. We are going to be introducing 2 new devs, one for each team. We're going to be discussing some challenges the community is facing. You know, I won't spoiler it for you. And then we're going to be highlighting some RPers and RP. We've got like a little sheriff panel planned. Some folks that are local law on the Red Dead server are going to chat with us. And then we've got a TR People episode. Our first
Love
one.
it.
I love that name so much.
It delights me.
In person,
Yeah.
than it does written down.
Yeah. You know, it occurred to me that the logo could be a TRP and then PL to like hyphenate it. But I don't know. Anyways, let's neither here nor there. So stay tuned for that at the very end. Okay. New curator. Drum roll. Is there a drum roll sound? That was like the most realistic drum roll sound I could come up with.
Nailed it.
That's not drum roll. That's not drum roll.
Iconic.
Okay.
Okay.
What a motley crew.
Okay, well, it gives me great joy and also terror for her to introduce Molly Pop to you as our new curator. We're slowly adding perms for Molly so that she's not completely overwhelmed by 1,000 Discord channels and passwords and tools and everything. And also, you know, Molly's got some big studies going on that I'm trying not to mess up. But yeah, Molly, hello.
Hey, hello.
I don't know. I feel like probably everyone on the Red Dead, I hate to say Red Dead side. I would say probably everyone who plays Red Dead knows Molly. Call me crazy, but I think that's true. But if you don't know Molly, would you like to share with us a little bit about who you are, your RP history? Let's start there. Let's talk about you as a role player.
Yeah. I was actually thinking about this because I was looking at the agenda, and I realized that you're the reason that I roleplay.
Hell yeah. I kind of like just crime, you know?
So I was watching, I was really into PUBG, and I saw you streaming PUBG, and then we became friends, and then you were streaming on this server called TLS, and which was a GTA roleplay server, and that like really piqued my interest. And I think like I mean, this is probably close, not to like age ourselves, but probably close to like a decade ago at this point. GTA RP's been around for a pretty long time. But
at least since 2016, so almost a decade.
Yeah, so I got my start kind of, I think how many of you are, I was playing on public servers and had no idea like what I was doing, just trying to figure out how to put hair on my head, you know. And then yeah, got into GTA RP, played GTA RP for God, like long time. And that's where I met Ewok, who is now roommates with me. So made some really like long lasting friendships through there. I got to play, I played Law, I played EMS, I was a Crim, and really enjoyed it. And then then TLS turned into PRC, and we started a Red Dead server, and kind of just fell in love with that, just the time period. And that's kind of where my bread and butter has been as of late. But I still kind of have a soft spot for GTA. And I used to play on the TRP server a little bit. I had an Irish character named Killian McCool. Yeah, so I played on the TRP GTA server a little bit here and there. And that's how I got started, I guess.
I would say that you are the reason I continued to roleplay.
That's very nice.
I will note that.
And I'm so sorry.
And I will say I'm terrified for you just because I feel like I said that earlier and I didn't really clarify. I don't know. I've seen some shit, you know? And I think I don't really want anyone to have their love and joy of RP tarnished by the kind of shit I've seen. But I think, you know what? You're a strong, independent young woman. So
Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm very excited to have you
I'm
making decisions for us.
I'm really excited to help. I also, just as a quick aside, I want to shout out Ewok and Ewok, who helped you make this video?
Kay and Casey.
Yeah, they to give us a little I don't know. I feel like
Ambience?
something funny. Yeah,
Yeah.
some ambiance.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. I feel like there's going to be some fun little things. So enjoy that. Thank you very much for doing that.
I can't believe you guys let me sit on the starting soon screen for that long. You sickos.
But to your point, oh, there's a robot. To your point, one thing that and I'm sure we'll probably get into this later on is something that's really important to me, both from like a dev perspective and now as like a curator owner perspective, is I want to keep role playing. Like carving out role play time is really important to me because like that's where it started, you know, and like I want to maintain it so that I can see how decisions impact players firsthand, you know, and experience it. And it's the same kind of thing with deving, is I want to see and experience where any like potential pain points are, right?
Yeah, the
that's
first-hand
a
the
really
first-hand
important thing for
knowledge
me.
is critical, I think. So helpful.
Yeah.
Ultimately, we're role players first, and everything else comes second. Wait, no, the life bit comes first.
Yeah, and it's hard to do. Like, you know, having that much responsibility there's, you know, I've just kind of been baby curator, and I be stressing, you know, so I get it. But that is a really important thing for me, is to, you know, mental health and having that good balance is really important to me. And I think I'm hoping to bring that with me as an owner.
Yeah, I think you have to really protect, like really intentionally protect your mental health, because it's a never ending to-do list. It will never end. It will never get smaller. That's my advice. Yeah, it's just an ever revolving.
The amount of things I could see in Discord, just in the regular one, not even in the staff one, and just like, I was like, well,
yep.
I can see a lot of shit.
Yep. I just gave Molly perms in the main Discord today. And I'm sure it like quadrupled the channels you have. What would you say are your immediate goals shifting into this role?
I think talking to and hearing from oh man, because there's kind of two different viewpoints from it, right? There's from like a curator, and then also kind of from a developer role as well. For those of you who don't know, like I've been working with devs on the Red Dead side, and from that point of view, which I think still kind of trickles down to both, is trying to identify what I call high impact change, which feels kind of like synergy, you know, and symbiosis, but things that will impact players, like quality of life changes, that I think are needed, but also will create quality role play and like collaboration. I think collaboration, for those of you who don't know, I'm the AMBO lead for Red Dead. And collaboration is like just a constant term that we use. And I think that can go from just being a role player, but also in like working as a team. So collaborating with GTA folks and, you know, hearing what they're saying and finding a way for us to move forward while also making sure that everybody isn't losing their mind, right? Like isn't, you know, starving trying to get dev stuff out, or, you know, whatever it may be. Finding that good balance of good mental health, but collaboration and fun for both and any other servers that we may have in the future. Felt like a long-winded answer. I apologize.
Oops, I was muted. Don't apologize. I was captivated. What are you hyped about right now?
I am hyped about, to be completely honest, I am hyped seeing, and these are things that we're gonna, again, I don't want to bury the lead, but some dev prospects coming in for both GTA and Red Dead.
Yes.
I'm excited, and I really feel, and I don't want to speak for anybody, but I've seen, like, Isengirl and Elements having fun, talking with us about ideas and working on things.
Imagine that. I love that.
And that's been really fun. And just kind of learning and seeing folks be excited about something that we're working on, and trying something a little bit different. But I think I'm also just excited about some of the ideas that I have for, Red Dead. And I'm also really excited, like, Steven said when we were in the dev chat, said that, like, he was really inspired by seeing what I've been working on. And it felt kind of like, two drunk girls in a bathroom. I was like, no, I'm inspired by what you do. Like, it was really fun. And I'm just excited for people to feel excited, like, I think that's something that I want to bring from being an AMBO lead. I think that's because in my real work, I was a coach and trained people. So, helping people recognize, like, that they can do something, that they have the ability to do so. That's what I'm really excited about, I think.
Well, we probably need to move on to the next segment, but thank you, Molly, so much for talking with us. I'm so excited to have you in the curator role. I think I think that you are kind of the glue. So, and I've loved seeing the dev work that you've been doing.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for having me. Have a lovely home.
Yeah. We'll wrap up some leftovers for you to take home.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, we've got new devs. Okay, so we are going to talk with Lauren Eats Dinos, who is dinosaurs? No, dinos.
No, it is dinosaurs. Don't worry, I also hate it.
Frick.
I hate the username too. It's okay.
I love
It's
it.
awful.
God.
I made it when I was 15. Can you tell?
Wow. You've had it since you were 15. I just assume, I actually, in my heart, you could be 80, you could be 21. I don't know. You're an enigma to me.
I'm going to choose to take that as a compliment.
You should. Yes, it's a compliment.
If she eats dinosaurs, and I mean, I'm thinking a couple billion.
Yep.
At least.
And then we also have Steven Inzy, to be exact. Hold on. Inzy Steven F, to be exact.
That's the one.
Yeah. Lauren's joining the Red Dead dev team. Steven's going to be working GTA primarily dev team. Hello. Hi, guys.
Hi there.
Hello.
How are you both today?
I thought I was actually going to sleep in on this. I went to bed a bit late last night, so I was just thinking, don't fall asleep, but body clock set in. So I'm doing peachy. I've had a bit of sleep behind me, so I'm good.
I'm glad.
I'm good as well. Good. We got a couple of things out on the devlog today. Some RDR people will have seen it. The announcement got made. We got a couple of things out that we've been working on the last couple of days. So,
hell yeah.
Last couple of weeks or so, really. So I'm really, really happy about that. I'm feeling very productive.
That's exciting. I saw it and it looked long, and I have not read it.
That's bad.
Read the devlogs though. That's my humble recommendation before you log on to the server, make a habit of looking at the devlogs, or you're missing out. Okay. Lauren. May I call you Lauren?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my name.
I know.
Ideally, yeah.
Steven.
Please don't refer to me as Eats Dinosaurs solely. That would be terrible.
Mrs.
Mrs.
Dino.
Dinosaurs.
Amazing.
That's Baron Lord Eats Dinosaurs to you.
Oh.
Dinosaurs. Lauren ate them all.
That's where they went.
And NZ, I'm just kidding. Okay. Can you guys talk a little bit about what past experience you have that has helped you the most with the work you're doing with TRP? Lauren, you've kind of been in the role for how long? Like at least a couple months? A month? A couple months?
Yeah. Good a couple of months now, I think.
And
yeah.
Steven, we're just kind of getting you onboarded. So
Yep.
maybe let's start with Lauren. You've had a little more time to settle in.
Yeah. So past experience wise, I did I also did a lot of the PC side of things I did a level in computing and programming and stuff, and I absolutely loved it. But also during the course of it, I realized I don't want to do this as a job. I like doing this as a hobby exclusively, you know. So I liked doing sort of little projects for myself. You know, whenever I would make anyone who knows me knows I make spreadsheets about anything and everything. And then I always overcomplicate it by scripting them as well, and doing shit without script and stuff. So mostly just stuff like that. My master's degree as well, I made I won't bore you with the details of it, but I made a data scraper that scraped a whole website of horse racing data and stuff. So it's just sort of something I've always done as like a little hobby, little background side project sort of thing. But yeah.
Puzzles are fun as a hobby, maybe not as fun when your job is dependent on them. Like
yeah, exactly. I love the idea of figuring out something that I want to figure out. I'm there every day, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, working in an office, not so much.
Amazing. That's fascinating. Genuinely. Steven?
Yeah, so with becoming now onboarding as a dev, as a GTA CM, I've been in all sorts of places where I can get a lot of that feedback that people are saying about the server. So it's been quite neat to have that in terms of like experience, what we can do on the GTA server on that sort of side of things, whether that's from the Discord server. You may have seen in GTA Gen, I may have asked like a lot of your guys' first time and returning play experiences so that we can see what we can do to make things all better in the grand scheme of things, and also watching people that stream on the GTA server and pulling that data. Before, as a CM, I could collate that info, but it was limited in what we could do just because it would require more development work. Now, as a 5M dev, it kind of changes what I can do now, which is it's great. I can now be more impactful with what I can bring to TRP, so it's a fun thing now that I can learn the dev work, see how hard it is, and try and make cool shit, make cool things.
I think that's a valid goal. Make cool shit. I think that's a very valid goal. It occurs to me that when I'm introducing people, I probably could include like maybe your roles, the roles that you hold aside from the ones we're talking about. Lauren, would you, if you guys wanted to just share that, that'd be great.
Yeah. I am community support at the minute and also an ambassador as well as up and coming dev.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
And
For
Steven?
me, I'm a GTA community manager. I also help our community support as a lead. You may find, if you're new to TRP, we have community support on both GTA and Red Dead. They look after any questions you have that you post in community support, so shout out to you guys.
I don't mean to interrupt real quick. Okay, someone just said that Steven sounds a bit low.
Low as in quiet? Oh, hold on.
You can turn it up a little bit. Yeah.
Hello, is that better?
How about, I had you turned down.
Oh yeah, I've been adjusting my mic a lot to make it more clear for today.
How's
I may have
that?
turned it up a bit too high. How about now?
Sounds better for me personally in my life.
Mm.
Yeah, quiet? Oh, no worries. That's all good. Just saying how yeah.
Sounds better.
Monetize that
Okay,
stuff.
good deal. Sorry about that.
There you go. Sounds better. Carry on.
No worries. So I'm a GTA community manager. I've been a part of that role since October 2023 and worked my way up to being a CM. As well as a CM, I also help our community support as a lead on the GTA side. If you're new to TRP, we have community support. They look after any questions you have if you reach out to us through community support. Contact support. So if you're new to the server, open a ticket and our team is keen to help you. So shout out to those guys. Now GTA dev, or finishing the onboarding part of it, but getting there and temporarily helping our QA side so we can get more of the things that need to be worked. Oh, damn. I'm just watching the video. Unlucky. I think that covers all the things that I do.
I'm sorry. I just had a flashback to filming that.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, you guys both wear a bunch of hats, and I feel like, Lauren, you do a bunch beyond just like the role, the description that you have. So I wanted to shout that out.
Lauren is also a martial lead and does a lot of work there too.
Yes. And
Yes, I'm also in QA, and I forgot to say that. Sorry.
QA, yes. And Steven,
I try
you
to just
have
help whatever I can. I want to do as much as I can. Is the TLDR. Everything.
At this point, it's Lauren eats many hats.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah.
Laura needs any problem she can find.
Yep. And Steven, you also run EMS, right?
Yes, so I look after the med side. So if you're joining the GTA side for the first time and you want to give med a go, open a support ticket and can see what we can do to help you there. It's fun. It may seem daunting, but we're trying to make it as easy as possible to understand how we do med RP for GTA. I swear it's not scary. I don't bite unless you're little CB who's been giving me shit in the chat.
I gotta stop saying I'm aware of it, okay? Any surprises as far as like, I don't know, you're doing dev stuff for us now. Any surprises since you took that role
on? For me personally, I mean, you know, when you go into something like that, you know that there's going to be a QA process. You know that there's going to be, you know, things aren't just being made and then, you know, shot out into the universe. They're obviously being extensively tested, but actually seeing it all work, seeing how many different people are involved, seeing how extensively they test it all, seeing how each person thinks in a weird way, because they all think of edge cases that each other would never have thought of. Oh, well, what if, you know, this new cigarette that we've got, you know, well, what if, how does that affect, you know, using a pipe, or how does that affect using a completely other item? You know, I love seeing how people think in that way, and just the sheer extent of the QA we do before we do put something out in a good way.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot for sure.
Mm-hmm. That's good though.
Love that. Anything surprised you yet, Steven? I don't know if you've had time to get surprised.
I guess some of it is just over the years I've been able to watch our devs work on stuff. So a part of it's kind of been not. If I get surprised now, a part of it's just a surprise Pikachu going, oh, but I already knew those like kind of surprises before with like how things work. But I think part of it is the infrastructure and the workflows that we have, and it'll be a learning curve, but it's definitely something I'll find rewarding because it's something that you can apply to in future in life, much as how you can apply some things from your past experiences and bringing them into like different roles we have in the staff team. So there's that, and yeah, I guess from 5 years ago to now, just seeing like the things that our teams had to go through, I think the surprises will be what stuff I discover in that time of like how we can get stuff done and try get around obstacles. So I feel like surprise Pikachus they're bound to happen, but shortly, we hit the first one going, oh, that's a new thing to stress about. But yeah, I think it's going to be helpful to have everyone with different experiences, and it'll be helpful to learn from one another.
Awesome. Well, I don't want to rush us along, but I do want to give us plenty of time for the next subject. So I am gonna move into that. Thank you both so much. We're so excited to have you on the dev team. We needed more more bodies in those roles. That was pessimistic. We very excited to have you.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm excited to make some cool shit.
That I guess that's just that is the goal, right? Just make cool shit. Love it. Okay. So, community challenges. We have a couple subjects to cover here. A few subjects to cover here. We're going to start with the 5M server. We have a couple of announcements to make about that. Kind of a bad news, good news situation. Yeah, I don't know. We're going to talk about player to staff communication and server costs as well. So who have I got in here with me from the 5M side? We've got Rain with us. We've got Steven. Is it just Rain and Steven?
Vex is here.
And Vex. Yeah.
Hello.
And we did make this announcement to staff earlier this week, I think. Last week. I have no concept of time anymore. We did get a little bit of, I would say, the feedback that we got. Yeah, the feedback that we got kind of took us back into further discussion. So staff that are listening in, if we are communicating slightly different information, that is because of your feedback. So, GG, this is the most up-to-date information. Basically, the TLDR, and please, again, Rain, Vex, Steven, Molly, feel free to chime in. Diamond, you know, you've got a lot of GTA under your belt as well, so feel free to chime in. First announcement, we will be sunsetting the 5M server, and that will be happening on September 30th. I think I'm just going to make these announcements, and then we can talk about kind of why and, like, you know, further detail. So the second announcement, I guess, is that we will be putting up a seasonal game during the downtime. So the server is going to come down on the 30th. It will stay down for some time, a few months. What this will do is give the dev team time and space to resolve some of the bugs that have been recurring that they haven't been able to address, as well as develop new cool shit. That should go, we should have a new season after the new year is our goal. And if we're ready sooner than that, it'll be sooner than that. But in the meantime, we will have a seasonal game up and running, something pretty much ready to play. So think something like Eco or 7 Days to Die or Project Zomboid, maybe Dune. The kids have been playing Dune. Looks very fun. So that will hopefully give us not only something to do in the downtime. I'm excited for it personally because I can see people who mostly play Red Dead, but maybe need a break or maybe have been on a break. Hopefully jumping into that, as well as people who usually play GTA jumping into that. And I'm hoping to see some, you know, new friendships forming. That's what I'm excited about. Anyone am I missing anything? What am I forgetting? Downtime
Oh, the
for
month.
dev
I don't know if
work.
you said the month. You said the 30th, so it's the 30th of September, right?
Yep.
Sweet. I think you may have just said 30th, just in case someone thought it was like this month. Since we're in August. No, next month.
Yep. September 30th. Sorry, I thought I said September 30th. So by sunset, what I mean is that the server will go down and we'll be ending the season. So we'll be doing a wipe. And what we're looking at doing going forward is a shorter lifespan for our seasons. So more frequent wipes with downtime afterwards. This is for several reasons, but one of the big ones is that a lot of the feedback we got from our players and staff is that the cadence of development updates was not fast enough. But at the same time, our dev team, we've had a lot of burnout on the dev team, so we're down to really just 3 now with Steven. GTA devs, and 2 of those, Isengirl and Elements, have been helping a lot with Red Dead, working with Molly and Lauren quite a bit. So the team is just very lean and they need a break and we need a sustainable system, which is evident by, the kind of like steady trickle of devs that have stopped contributing work. Yeah, they're technically still on the team, but they've just stopped contributing work. It's a labor intensive thing. It's also like, I think of the dev work, I think sometimes we as players think of it as like almost a utility or like a task, but when I'm doing dev work, it feels more like art. Like I get very emotionally invested in it and it can be really draining. I don't know, anything.
I think something we wanted to highlight for this as well was it's going down and being seasonal so that the devs have time to do those things between seasons.
Yeah.
So in the downtime when the GTA server is not up, that's when those devs that can do that side of things will be working really, 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 really hard on making sure it's ready for the next season. So it's not just like it's going down and nobody's doing anything. That's why it's going down, just so that they have the chance to just dedicated work on it all. Without disrupting your experience, to then be able to bring it back up. Lovely new season. Look at all this fresh new stuff you can do, and then cycle and cycle and cycle.
Yep. And that kind of cadence, we haven't really set like pace on that yet. We have ideas. We've discussed, various frequencies on that, and I think it's really going to be dependent on. And I think we might actually talk about this more in a minute, but I think it's really going to be dependent on what the player response is. You guys kind of vote with your playtime. So if people flood to GTA on the new season, then likely it'll stay up longer. But if we don't see that surge in pop or it dies off, we will take that as a sign that it's time to wrap up the season and start working on new stuff, to kind of refresh the experience. I think as far as data goes, that's kind of the gist of it. Was there any questions in the chat that we're not going to get to here in a minute? Maybe should
the only one I saw, the only main question I saw, you already got to, and the other one, I was waiting for the proper time.
Okay. Well, let's chat. I have a few questions for the GTA team, and honestly, anyone can chime in. And if by the end there's still questions from the Twitch chat, let me know.
There is one now. So they ask, basically, surely letting people enjoy what theirs instead of removing it makes more sense. People have enjoyed the remains of GTA in its current state. Respectfully, I don't want to start a fresh character every X months and have to lose all progress. That's what dev environments are for, to test things before they go live, right? Yeah, so that's actually one of the questions that I have for the GTA team, and that's something that we've discussed quite a bit. So I guess we can start with that. So the question is, why can't we just keep the server live?
and in maintenance mode, right? Maintenance mode meaning like just stop doing updates, just let it run and let us stay on it. Rain or Steven, do you want to talk about why that is? And it was something we discussed with Isengirl, who is our lead dev, the other day. I don't know if you guys wanted to chime in, or I can.
I mean, so from what I understood, from what Isengirl explained, is that our server is very out of date. And we are so far behind with a lot of the fresh updates with GTA that the way that he kind of explained it was we need this downtime to be able to reconfigure our server to be able to do these updates. So like new clothes, newer cars, that's not something that we can just throw in with a little bit of code. The server has to be updated and the server can't be on while this is happening.
So as an example, and Molly, you might be able to chime in on this as an example. So what we're talking about is like, and you guys have probably seen the little warning that says your server artifact is out of date. So basically we've got two code bases that we work with, one that we have control over, one we don't. Obviously our code base, the TRP code base that makes our server what it is, but there's also the CFX code base. And when they make updates, the artifact number increases and it impacts our code. And often it impacts it in ways that we don't know or don't expect and just straight up are not communicated. Maybe CFX had no idea that they even made the change that they made. And this actually impacted the Red Dead server, just as an example here really recently. Molly, you guys were in a voice chat for, it felt like an entire day, trying to get the server back up and functioning like normal after an update that made, I think it was like a crazy crash that was happening.
That was when it was something CFX did that was whenever any weapon was loaded on your pad, it would just crash you. And the server went down briefly about that. We were in channel for, I think, it was a day and a half, I think, like a full day and a half. We were all in VC trying to sort that out. Sorry, go on, Molly.
Yeah, that was, it was because of like heap corruption, basically, but it's related to like memory, essentially, and that was kind of related to, we believe, like CFX, getting rid of support for Lua 5.3. And so certain things we just aren't sure. We don't know how they're going to impact things. And I think, you know, we're dealing with, you know, a lot, like, there aren't a whole lot of people playing, right? And do we want to have an updated server that gives us an opportunity to have a fresher experience? And allowing devs the time to do so. And I think it is. You're absolutely right, Convergent. It's a dev retention issue. It's a double-edged sword, right? So,
I mean,
getting
it's
that
tedious.
player base back. I mean, like I said, I mean, this is going to come across, I guess, brash, and I do it anyway because I care about it, right? But we're putting in part-time work for not part-time pay, right? So, you know, I work 40 hours a week, and, you know, I'm working on an update for Red Dead just because that's what I'm doing, right? And that's taken me months to do because I'm also trying to help onboard Lauren. I'm not complaining about that, but that's just something that takes time to do, right? I want to get her tasks, to get her acquainted with our framework, right? And I'm happy to do that. It's just of the time that I am able to commit to deving, those things have to come first, right? Because we need more devs. And so it is a time-consuming thing. And kind of to our previous point, something that I think is really important is I think that having devs that also role play. So we want there to be enough time for Steven, especially, to be able to play on the server, but also have time to work on things. Because in my experience, and I'm not going to speak to Steven, I'm not going to speak to your ability, but a month of work time on something and is not a lot. So keeping it up and servicing it while he's working on it, it's just a lot to balance. And if we can get more devs, absolutely, then we can look at it from a different perspective. And this is a different take on things. We're trying something different, and we realize that. But it was something that, made the devs that we have excited. And I think that's a good sign, is I think, because if devs are excited, then they're going to want to work on things. And, our goal is to assess and pivot based on like kind of live feedback, right? And I know that this probably is not something that people are probably worried, and I think that's completely fair. And in regards to, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to take over. I feel very passionate about this because
I'm going to move on just because I have several questions I want to ask the team, and I think we're going to hit on some of the things you're kind of, and I keep chiming in, Molly, but I do want to kind of get to some of these questions that I have.
I think you're asking a lot of questions that I think we're going to touch on. I think server cost is a lot more than people realize.
Yeah, we have I'm going to get into server costs here in a minute. That's absolutely, it's hard to justify the cost of running a server when an average of, I don't want to be hyperbolic, but an average of like 5 people right now play on the server. And most of the people that play on the server are staff, with a few exceptions. And those few exceptions are people that I think are incredible and who I'm not going to say kill for, because this is a live stream on Twitch. But
I don't like it. I'm kidding.
But I think you're wonderful. I'm just going to say it. Cat Eyes, you're amazing. Okay. You're a delight, and I enjoy you very much, and we've never even RP'd together, but damn it, someday we will. Okay. So I don't want to brush aside those of you who are playing, which is why we're leaving it up until the 30th. We really want to give you time to, conclude your stories. We are going to put up probably, I don't know what we'll call it, a story conclusion channel, so that you guys can wrap up your stories and post it and have it there in memorandum. We did this for Red Dead when we did our last wipe, and I think it was really nice. It was really fun to read, and it gave everyone, maybe not everyone, it gave many of us a sense of closure, and helped us kind of, nobody likes wipe, we're role players, we worked really hard on these characters, we've put a huge amount of time and energy into our stories. I think the wipes are good and necessary, and this kind of leads me into another reason that we're doing this. Player pop is a problem beyond just the cost of running the server. It is a vicious cycle. It impacts dev morale, right? Like, no one wants to spend a bunch of time developing stuff that no one's going to play. And it's like, you need more players to get more players, but you need more players to get more. It's just a vicious cycle. So we're hoping that we can try fresh new things with each new season, and have time to really kind of experiment and have fun with the dev work and give you guys something, both the players who have been active now, but also people that maybe got bored or, just haven't been around or mostly play Red Dead. We want to give you guys a reason to get on the server. So that's one of our big goals with this, is to increase the server pop, because it's not going to increase itself, right? And then the TLDR is leaving it up in maintenance mode is not an option. There's just no, there's no such thing. It requires maintenance. The benefit of putting up a seasonal game is it's not our code. We have no responsibility for maintaining it. We're turning off and on mods at the most. You know, it doesn't require dev work, emotional investment, daily effort to keep up, basically.
I think as well with the off-season games and the games that we might run even when GTA is up again, is that it also brings in more folks. So while the server's down, that means that those who aren't able to get that GTA RP fix, there are other things they can do to kind of like cleanse, like a cleanse palette, as well as bringing in new folks who haven't played GTA before, like GTA RP, Red Dead RP, and having that as an introduction to what we as a whole TRP are. We're brought by gamers as a community. We just roleplay more so than anything.
What?
Would you say that would be like the right way of things?
Yeah, I agree. I'm running out of time, and I have to move us on. Let me ask you guys, generally, team, how are you feeling about the sunset of the server? Like, what emotions are happening for you as we're talking about this?
I guess for me, it's obviously nervous because we haven't done this before in TRP, and I haven't seen many servers do the more frequent wipes. So there is nervousness, but I am optimistic because we're all here, those who are watching right now, and also watching this as a VOD. The one thing is your worry is valid. Like, it goes to show, I was talking about this with Molly, is that it shows you give a damn. You give a shit about something that we're doing here, like a special space, you know? It's my first place I've ever done roleplay, and I want to try to help keep that going, but we have to try something different so that we can bring more players in. And it may mean that we may lose some people, which would be really sucky to have, because we want to keep those people, but my idea is, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do, since I just joined the team, so I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do to, you know, make things different and make this a home for more people now and in the future. I'm not media trained, by the way. I'm just very passionate about TRP.
You're awesome. Rain, any feelings, vibes?
I'm excited, honestly. I've been through a couple of wipes on the GTA server, and I mean, I know, you know, everybody's like, oh, all my stuff's going away, but I've never had that like clingy attachment to any of that stuff. And it's always fun when you, like, you know, you get your restart, because everybody's running around and everybody's having a good time, and they're not really focused so much on, you know, grinding. They're, you know, they're talking, they're actually role playing, and it's fun again. Whereas, you know, we've had this server up since 2022. That's what, 3 years? That's a long time.
Yeah.
For this. And like I said earlier, with changing it to seasonal, we won't have to worry about the economy as much, and we can have fun, and we can, you know, do things for players, as opposed to, oh, we couldn't do that because, you know, it's going to mess up the economy. And that was like the big thing in the back of everybody's mind. We need to keep the economy stable so, you know, the server can keep going. Well, now that we don't really have that to worry about, we can do a lot more fun things.
Yeah, I think for me, just in kind of like helping move the planning along, not really helping plan, but helping facilitate the planning, I've heard a lot of excitement. I think there's a lot of worry that people are going to be disappointed. We don't really want to take things away, right? That's never a good feeling. But also, I've heard a lot of excitement in the planning for what we're going to do next. I've sensed a lot of fun just in the conversation. So I'm hoping that translates for the players as well. I think it will. Unless somebody can take over for me, we will have to move on.
I can go through the.
I will run through, and you guys can jump back to this if you want to discuss it further, but I would like to get into really quickly server costs before I go. No, I can't go because I'm the stream. Okay, we're just gonna have to mob through server costs. It's about $500 a month, TLDR. We've got, I'm gonna run down the list of what we've got to pay for. We have the GTA Patreon is $50. The Red Dead Patreon is $50. We have, and that is the CFX Patreon, I think. OVH is $211. GitHub is $44. Ticket Tool, $8. Dropbox is $12. OVH Canada is another $50, and that is our proxies for our DDoS protection, basically. Several MLOs are subscriptions. There's the Nosaic sub, which is 35 euros. These are euros now. Okay. GNN All Mods, 20 euros. GabZ is 66 euros, and Ambitioneers is 19 euros, and the euro costs are all for MLOs that are on the server. So to run both servers right now is about $500 a month. That is down. We did reduce our costs earlier this year from $700 to $800 a month by, I believe we just combined both FiveM and RedM onto one server, I believe is what we did to reduce that. Right now, our income for the server through TEBX subscriptions is about $60 a month. Brian and I, Brian is another curator, my husband, we pretty much
You all probably know him as Hicks.
Yeah, Hicks _206. Sorry, in the chats on the Discords. We took on the cost of the server when we came onto the ownership team, and the initial we took on the full cost of the server when the initial GTA server owners left. So and we were happy to do that. Unfortunately, our financial situation has changed. I don't know that any of you, maybe some of you do keep up with the state of the games industry right now, but it's bleak out there. It's bleak. So yeah, I mean, server costs are not a small issue right now. We've had several members of staff over the past several months, chipping in to help with that. But yeah, it's a big expense. So I wanted to share that. I'm going to write up a blog post. I know I ran through that list really quickly and I didn't really explain it, but I am going to write up a blog post so you guys can all see that, just for transparency. We should have done this a long time ago. But when you're purchasing things through our TEBX, that's where that money goes, is straight into keeping the server up and running. No one's profiting. No one's getting paid. And right now I think we're right at about $60 in subscriptions. So TLDR, we do have a really amazing community member who wishes to remain anonymous, who has offered to contribution match up to $300 over the next 30 days, I believe. I will write this down. It's going to go in an announcement. It'll go in the blog post as well, so this will be reiterated. But over the next 30 days, if you make a TEBX contribution, that community member will match it, and we'll go all the way up to 300.
Me. Sorry to cut you there. Someone thinks it's me. It's not me. I wish.
Hey, we're not gonna speculate because it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very, very generous
yes, whoever it is, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. Very much appreciated. And ideally, I would love to get to a point where the server is self-sustaining, But also, you know, I would love to get to a point where we can, you know, do little. There's a Red M collective group that has a Discord, and they are working on the Red M platform, just advancing it, because the CFX devs kind of are very much focused on, they've kind of abandoned it. So that's why you can still only have, like, I don't know what the player bubble is, like
32 still.
32 still before
32.
everyone starts disappearing.
They are working on that. The Red M Collective, they are working on that as a priority.
Yeah, something really cool that I saw that they do is they'll kind of pitch to the community, here's the update we want to work on. This is, you know, kind of what that would look like. This would be the outcome. This is our dream and vision. Here's the money we would want to pay the devs to work on this, and kind of like GoFundMe it almost. I think that would be super cool down the road. Obviously, we need a much more engaged player base to support that. So that's kind of end goal for me. But in the short term, you know, I would love for player pop to be not even remotely a factor in keeping a server alive. But right now it is. It's very much a matter of like, it's just, we can't really justify keeping a server up and running for the amount of people that are averaging, you know, specifically on the 5M server right now. Oh, we're so close to the end, man. Okay. Feedback forum.
We can talk about that if you want.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'm wondering.
The feedback forum is currently open now. You can find it in the community section of the Discord. It is down at the bottom, underneath the community submissions forum. It has a template in there. It has the rules in there. So post your feedback in there. If there's feedback you agree with, give it a +1 so we can look at it. A couple of things though. If there's an existing suggestion, instead of like posting your own up there, that is pretty much the exact same thing. Just give it that check. That way we are, you know, we're not just flooding the forum. There's only going to be a community support and a handful of CMs actively going through it to relay information over. There is, when you're making a suggestion, like I said, there is the template in there. There is how we would like it. We also want to be very important, or very, very clear, that the forum is not where you would go to call people out or make reports or to submit complaints or anything like that. This is just for suggestions for the servers and feedback. We really, really, really are going to ask that it be constructive suggestions and feedback. So a couple of examples would be like, you know, skill X feels too grindy. Here's what we might be able to do to fix it. Or here's some additional roleplay roles for EMS, or things like that. And if you see a staff member, give it a 1-up, just if they agree with your suggestion. And just putting a suggestion in the forum in and of itself is not a promise that it's going to be implemented. A lot of things are going to be heavily dependent on the amount of time that devs have, the amount of time just in general that we have to put things on there, and the current things in the pipeline and working. It is all there. Go ahead and take a look. If the roles are unable to post, let me know and I will get them fixed. But I think I have it set. Fingers crossed.
I'm back.
As for conversion, what you're asking with incentives or a little reward for supporting through the thing that launched, was it like 6 months ago, or through Patreon and things, it's definitely on the table. It's something that we need to work on. I do agree that, and I think a lot of us agree that we want to be able to give a little something to people who are donating to support the server. When I said what you're asking, it's just because you asked the question. I agree with you. Back to you, Kay.
Okay. I had to take my headphones off. Did we get the forum covered?
Yes.
Okay.
We're almost covered.
I would have loved to show it to you. Sorry, guys. Let's see. Let me get back up to the agenda. Okay.
I believe we're up to RP Spotlights, is it? RP Spotlight.
I feel like we skipped something. No. Okay, yeah, RP Spotlight. Okay. We have a panel of sheriffs / local law. We are here live with Molly Pop, Ewok, Fuzzy Butts now, I believe.
My nuts dropped.
Thank God. Bless. And Cassie. All of whomst are local law, and all of whomst have also played marshals. Would you care to introduce yourselves? Perhaps let's start with Ewok.
Hi, I'm Ewok Fuzzy Butts. I play a lot of characters, but right now my sheriff is Boomer Rig, and he is Valentine Sheriff. And what do you want to know about him?
What's his favorite birthday treat?
I've established that he's lactose intolerant, so not ice cream. Probably good steak and potatoes.
Oh, okay. Not a dessert fan, huh?
No.
Okay, I see. And Cassie, would you care to introduce yourself and your character?
Hello, I'm Cassie. I play Gwendolyn Riggs, the undersheriff of Valentine.
Okay, great. And let's see. If she had a secret Santa, what would she be getting them?
Probably new clothes.
Wow, that's generous. Okay, what if the limit on the secret Santa was $2?
A lollipop. I don't know.
Okay, that's so valid. I was expecting apples, but that's okay. Fried apples, I believe it is. That's neither here nor there.
Character.
Yeah, not that. Different character. Okay, and Molly?
Hi, yes, I play Beckett Boone, Sheriff of Rhodes.
Fantastic. How long have you been Sheriff of Rhodes as this character?
Yeah, that's a good asterisk. 3 months, 4 months.
Okay. And have you played any other sheriffs?
Yes. On this iteration of TRP, this is my second sheriff I've played.
How about you, Ewok or Cassie? Have you guys played local law prior to these characters?
I was also sheriff in Rhodes.
Aha.
I was an undersheriff in Rube. I was a sheriff in Strawberry and started a cult and then died.
That was my cult.
And, well, our cult, and yeah, I got
We
executed.
got a lot of cults on the Red Dead server.
Yeah, it's culty. You guys played marshals. You've all played marshals, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I've also played a marshal. I currently play a marshal.
Have you played local law?
Yeah, I started out as local law way back in the PRC days.
Well,
But
wow, I have no memory of that.
The first rendition of Samuel Wren, I originally made him to be a criminal, but roleplay took him to becoming a deputy in Valentine, to the sheriff of Valentine, to the first hired marshal outside of the ones that were brought on to just start the role.
Whoa. Wow, that feels like 30 years ago. Okay.
Oh, it was a while ago.
Well, then you're welcome to join the panel too. I guess with the context that you've all played marshals before, and I'm not looking to necessarily compare and contrast, but I guess with that knowledge in our hearts, what excites you about local law work specifically? Whoever wants to
first
jump in.
again?
Sure, yeah.
For me, it's not so much the actual law work, it's the building up the town work. Getting the town up and running, getting people to come into town and do business, and try and set up events around the town. For me, that's the fun part about it.
How about you, Cassie?
So I played a marshal first, so my favorite thing was that I didn't have to write warrants anymore.
That's so valid. Less paperwork.
But I also loved building a community around it.
Yeah, it's different because you become such a hub for RP, whereas if your jurisdiction is the whole map, the RP doesn't really, maybe it does, but in my mind it doesn't come to you as much. You have to go to it. Is that true, do you think?
I'd agree.
How about you, Molly?
Wait, what? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, York.
Oh, I was asking if you could repeat the question. I didn't hear it.
I was musing. It's neither here nor there. Cassie said I was
what
right.
Was the muse?
Cassie said I was right.
What was the muse?
I was saying that basically, as a local law, you become more of a hub versus marshals who kind of have to go to the RP. You guys become kind of more of a hub. Not that it just comes to you on a silver platter, but it does.
Well, it does. Insisting that you have the bank, and Valentine's has been robbed twice in 2 weeks.
Love that. Have you guys captured any bank robbers?
Someone ran off a cliff.
We captured the one group, and the other one is still waiting to be caught.
At large. At large, as they would say.
I would say that they were speaking on this panel too.
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
Molly, what excites you about local law work?
Kind of echoing what they said. I, especially being in Rhodes, I'm kind of the next town where everybody spawns in. So I'm put in a really fun and unique position to oftentimes be one of, if not the first interactions that players have in the server. And that's really fun. I'm also really enjoying, I have a few deputies of players, Bash, Zeke, and Elena, who've never played law before at all. And that's been really, really fun to watch them evolve and grow and learn. And also seeing how, because a lot of them play crims as well. And I can see how it also impacts the way they play criminals as well. But yeah, it just, I enjoy being able to have a little bit more of a personal touch when interacting as that character and be kind of like a grumpy guy.
I guess I'm not sure if this question will apply, since most of you, maybe I'll ask Molly specifically, because you started with local law, right? Before you did martial? Molly?
I'm sorry, what was it?
You started as local law before you became a marshal, right? And then you did marshal for a brief time. Or was it the other way around?
So on PRC, I was sheriff marshal. And then on TRP, when we merged and had the update, I was marshal, then took a good little break, and then was sheriff.
Here's the question. What was the learning curve like for your local law role? Question to anybody.
What was it?
What was the learning curve like for the local law?
Having to restrain yourself to going out, leaving, like, because like for me personally, playing a marshal beforehand, yeah, it was having to realize, okay, I can't go too far out, and just being confined to the town.
Do you think that hinders your role play?
For my character, no, because he also owns the Valentine store. So as a lawman, do I think it hinders it? Not so much. Once Pop is back up and running, it'll be a lot easier for being in a town.
Yeah, that makes sense. Anyone else want to chime in on that one?
I think I'm trying to I kind of think back to when I started on PRC as like a new, like without much training, going to be a sheriff, and it can be really scary because I think it's really easy to forget that you're also a character. You're not just a piece to someone being able to rob a bank. Like, while that is the case, but each sheriff ideally will have different values, have different thoughts of how to approach things, have different temperaments. And, you know, I would love for there to be like a bumbling idiot in Armadillo or Tumbleweed, you know, or anywhere. And recognizing that that's okay. That making mistakes in character doesn't mean that you're not good at the job. It's just that your character has made a mistake, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I love that. I think that's the biggest learning curve in roleplay, is that distinction between yourself and your character. But there's so much opportunity there, especially in the local law role, I think. Has anything surprised you about the roleplay? The local law roleplay?
Surprised? Not really. I wouldn't say. I think you get more silly-ish crime being local law than, say, the marshals they deal with serial killer stuff. But I say that as Rhodes had to deal with the serial.
Yeah. So if I could just chime in real quick. I absolutely did love local law as well. And I think local law is probably the best law on the server for the reasons that they've said. That's all I wanted to say.
I think for me personally, not that it matters, but if I had time to roleplay, I think I would be doing local law. It's the one thing I haven't really done on the server yet, but I've always wanted to do it. I have a bazillion ideas. It seems really fun. Man, I think it's probably time to move towards our TR people segment. Unless anybody has any final thoughts they want to share.
Oh, go on, sorry.
I could talk so much about local law. It's a love of mine, but I will spare everybody. I'll be in the parking lot taking questions if you'd like.
Okay, well, thank you.
My last statement is: do crime, have fun.
I have a last statement.
Yes.
I can't have said fried apples because fried apples are $2.75 in this economy.
My God, what on earth? I could say some things to that I'm not going to, because this is not the time nor place, but I'm really sorry about that. It pains me to hear. Thank you guys. I really appreciate your time. Yeah, delightful. Just delightful. You're making me want to get on and play a deputy.
You should come to Valentine, be a deputy.
Yeah, I loved the idea, honestly, of having baby pigs that I'm obsessed with. Because at any given moment, there's going to be a squealing child in the background. Okay, well, thank you guys. So I want to move us to the final part of our campfire. We're running over time. Who could have predicted that? Lauren, our own Lauren.
Your own Lauren. It's me.
Our own Lauren. Took the helm
She's not
on
eating
this
her
project.
dinosaurs.
Yep. Full belly. You interviewed Zach Brown. How do you say Zach Browning Outdoors?
Zach Browning Outdoors is
Sometimes
his
I
username.
see it.
So,
Sometimes I read it as Zach Brown Go Outdoors. Anyways,
I think it's in other places, but in Discord and in Twitch, he's Zach Browning Outdoors.
I think
so I've done a little
we'll call him Zach.
interview with him. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
Zach. Unless he tells me otherwise, it's Zach.
All right.
Here's your time to tell us otherwise, Zach. But there you go, Zach is fine. Brilliant. So I did as our first sort of iteration, we'll say, of TR people. We've done a segment with Zach Browning Outdoors, or Zach, who plays Zachariah Anderson, who is the sheriff of Strawberry right now, and previous under sheriff of Strawberry. Kind of similar to this last conversation, just a conversation about local law and why you should do it. And what he enjoys about it and things like that, and how he feels about RP as a concept. So
So basically I'm going to run this and then I'm going to close down the stream. So we'll say our goodbyes now. I will say, Lauren, you did an amazing job on the interview, and I found it very entertaining to listen to. So you guys are in for a treat.
Thank you.
Great job, Zach, as well. Thank you so much to everyone who joined in on the voice call today, and everyone who's listening in on Twitch. Shout out to Ewok and Cassie for helping with the campfire footage we've been enjoying. Shout out also to Bonnie, who made our little TRP stinger down there at the bottom. I think it's really dope.
Hi, Hicks.
Oh, Brian's here. Brian was relegated to baby duty and was disappointed that he could not be here.
Hey, Brian.
But yeah, without further ado, here is Lauren and Zach. Come on. Yes. Oh, shit. Hold on. We're almost there. Pro streamer. I can do it. I'm going to make it big. And
that's what she said.
RP stories are told by two separate yet equally important groups. The characters immersed in the world and the people who play them.
Oh, I don't think we can hear. Oh wait, no, I'm the liar. Sorry.
I'm restarting it because you didn't get to hear the cowbell.
I know, I'm such a piece of shit. I'm sorry.
On an RP server, stories are told by two separate yet equally important groups. The characters immersed in the world and the people who play them. These are their stories.
Just as a quick first one, if you could tell us a bit about Zach the character, sort of what makes him, tick as a person a little bit.
Zachariah is a bit of a
Can we get a volume boost? Okay.
Can we turn the sound up, please? Thank you.
Doesn't really like taking shit from anybody, but he army captain, didn't necessarily like being in the army, but he I don't know, he tends to live his life based off of kind of a give and get type of mentality. Like, if people are being cool and nice to him, he's going to be nice back. If they're being rude, he's going to be an asshole about it.
From an OSC point of view, how did you get into local law? Was it like an OSC decision that you wanted to try it out, or did it happen in character and you just sort of went with the flow?
Absolutely not. No. So I joined with the sole idea in mind that Zachariah was going to be a gold panning hermit in the woods. And then he started making character connections with Doug when he was sheriff in Strawberry, and he was like, come on, you'd be great for this. Then Squirtle became sheriff on Jasper, and he's just like, hey, I needed undersheriff. So it was Doug poking and prodding for 3 to 4 months, and then Squirtle being like kind of holding my feet to the fire and saying I need help. And so him and I ran Strawberry for ever and ever and ever. a lot of good experiences, a lot of fun memories have been made, a lot of cool people we've met, and yeah, it's been a great experience.
Generally speaking, how does Zachariah normally deal with crime and criminals in his town?
Like I said, kind of a give and get. Like if it's a crime that he can't ignore, so like a murder or like serious crimes where violence is involved, he tends to be a bit harder in that general situation than normal. But he's also kind of a person that thinks that people can learn from their mistakes. Because at the end of the day, like this is an RP server. You don't want to be so much of a hard ass that it makes people have a not fun experience. So you want to make sure you're following the laws that have been put in place in the server, but you also want to make sure that you're not being so much of a hard ass that people simply just don't want to interact with you anymore. So there's a balance. I've tended to be more on the hard ass side of things just because that's how the character is, but you don't want to take away avenues of RP for people.
What does collaboration and facilitative roleplay look like to you?
Collaboration could be anywhere from arresting someone to working with other law departments to working with the marshals to I've been fortunate enough to be a part of a lot of cool storylines. Yeah, like with the doll maker situation and the stuff like that, where it's like there's a lot of tension and there's a lot of like frustrations, and those are all real emotions. And sometimes the collaboration is being at odds with people. It goes back to the give and get. If someone's being rude, Zachariah is not the type of character to take rudeness in the chest. He gets back up in their face and is kind of rude back. So I think the collaboration is a lot of give and get, which I think that's in my ideal world with RP. That's kind of where people should live, is the give and get.
As a roleplayer, what's your personal favorite aspect of local law?
Ooh, but I think my favorite aspect is honestly just being what it's enabled me to do and be a part of, like some of the storylines. And if it went how I wanted and Zachariah was just a hermit in the middle of the woods, I never would have been a part of the manhunts and the recovery missions, like when Tyrell got caught up in Coulter. Like I never would have been a part of any of that. So I think just being a part of law allows you to be a part of a different type of storyline. And I think all the connections that I've made through those has been my favorite part of it. Being able to be friends with all these people, and just the people you meet and interact with, it's just a blast.
Just getting the chance to impact and be part of many different stories you wouldn't normally be a part of, I suppose, as well.
Yeah, even if it's a small part, right? Like even if it's just being a part of it for a night, like there is an impact of that, and that's fun.
If you could give somebody advice on how to get into local law if they were wanting to, how would you? What advice would you give them?
Say something. Find a person with a badge in a town. Walk up to them and say, "Hey, what do I have to do to become a part of this?" And that person's going to point you in the right direction and say, "You have to do this, this, and this." Now, for me, it's all about trust. So if you're in the town and you're a part of the town, you're going to be able to get into local law a lot quicker if you just show that you care and talk, be a part of the community. I mean, listen, I get it. For new RPers that have never done law, or just new RPers to begin with, joining a new server, not knowing anybody, it's really intimidating. Just say hello. Saying hello opens so many doors. It's crazy how simple it is. Saying hi and being a part of the community and getting to know the people in charge of that local law office is the quickest way to gain trust and become part of that.
And what advice would you give them once they are in that position?
So be a part of it, be active. If it's something that you don't want to do after you've been a part of it, then recognize that. If it's something that you really, really enjoy and you want to be a part of, then keep at it, stay active. Simply having a badge, walking around, and letting people know that you're awake and online and available immediately enables more RP and immediately enables you to enjoy and go after that RP that you want. So if it's something you enjoy, stick with it. If it's something you don't, then be honest with yourself. And, there's always other options to be law adjacent if you realize that doing the legwork of being a lawman is not for you. But if it is, great, keep doing it. Every sheriff that is a sheriff in the server right now knows what they're doing. I think if you can get in with any of those law departments, it may open up some really cool doorways for you to play with that character. And it's not always going to be fun for the character in character, but it's almost always going to be fun for you out of character. So yeah, you try to be lenient on certain things and then harsh on others, and kind of like you don't want to immediately box them in as like this is just a villain, you know. That way you give them multiple experiences. Yeah, you don't take things personally. I think that's also a good bit of advice. Don't ever take things personally. 99% of the time, actions done in character are never going to be personal to you out of character. So let everything roll over your shoulders, realize that it's all part of doing storytelling, and move on and enjoy it while it happens, because stories that do last over a couple of weeks are generally some of the best. So if you can find your way and stumble your way into those, you're going to realize just how fun being a part of law can be. So
all right, well, no, I appreciate you talking to us. Thank you for that. And I hope we can see more from Zachariah and things, and from local law. Hopefully we can you know, if we can have people get that experience through people like you and other people in local law, then you know they can make their way and become the knowledgeable sheriff for somebody else as well, which will be good.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, thank you for having that chat with us. Appreciate it.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Anytime. Not the all me credits.
Paid for and approved by Lauren Steinos.
I think we're still streaming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Might be baby stuff. While she's baby stuff and maybe. That I didn't like the way that sounded. I take that back. One way, you know, we've talked about different ways to contribute to TRP. Obviously, you know, right now financially with the TEBEX that we have pinned will help us pay for servers. But if, you know, money's tight, we get that. Other ways that you can help volunteer your time. We're always looking for quality assurance testers, developers, content creators, especially people that are good with Photoshop to make icons, video editing. Those are all things that we could really use because we have kind of a condensed team right now, which is why things are a little bit slower to go out because we have less people to work on it. And if that's anything that you're interested in helping with, some tips and tricks for a good application for quality assurance, take a look at what bug reporting looks like for either GTA or RedM, and really acquaint yourself with what should happen, what's going wrong, and giving clear and concise instructions on how to repeat the bug. That's really helpful with quality assurance. For dev stuff, understanding Lua, VRP2 framework, you know, JS, there's C++, there's quite a few languages that would be beneficial. But it's hard for us to, or same thing with like MLO design as well. It's hard for us to even get you started in the onboarding process if we don't have any idea of what you're capable of. So having some type of example of what your work looks like is really beneficial as well. Same thing goes for video editing, Photoshop, making icons, anything like that. And also posting content. Like if you're having a good time, posting content, screenshots, videos, that helps us. That, you know, when it comes to content curation, we have to go through and find videos and edit them, right? So if we're missing videos from certain areas, that's helpful, and we want stuff that's painting TRP in a good light, right? So
about that as well, there's a forum for community submissions. If you want to put stuff in there, it would also help content creation from having to dig through a bunch of things in the screenshots channel. Just above the community feedback and suggestions forum. I'm giving finger guns that nobody can see.
And I think the TLDR is that we have a small team, but we have a very dedicated team of people that are putting in a lot of work and care very much about a role play experience. And we have taken in a lot of the feedback that you've given us about communication, the way we communicate. We recognize that we've said we're going to be more open, and we're kind of in a put up or shut up situation, and we're hoping that we're going to be able to put up, and you all can see that we've heard you, that we're looking to be more transparent and be honest if we don't know what the answer is right away. So we really appreciate everybody's time and effort in filling out that feedback. It's really helped us navigate what our next steps are. I think that's it.
Yeah. Now we just wait for Kay to...
She's ready. She's ready.
Sign off in 5s, you just said.
Go for it.
3, 2.
Bye. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, everyone. We'll see you in the
Thanks,
next
everybody.
one.
Bye. 1 and